Oh, hi, it's Katie here. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode and wanting to tune in and listen. I'm just giving you a little heads up and a little bit of a warning that the sound quality on this recording isn't the best, but my gosh, the messages that come through were phenomenal. So if you're thinking, I need to adjust my set or what is going on with the sound, it's not your device or what you're listening with. It is unfortunately the microphone gods above. So I do apologize. I hope that you get everything that you desire from this. It's a really, really juicy episode. So if you can bypass the sound quality, please enjoy, and thank you so much for tuning in. And as always, please like and subscribe, and also leave me a little comment if you would be so kind. And I'd love to hear from you. Lots of love and enjoy. I didn't have a job. They'd stripped my job away from me, my spirit guides. They were like, nope, definitely not doing that, Katie. So welcome back, my darlings, to another amazing episode. You may or may not have noticed we've had a little bit of a break recently, and that is because I have been traveling the world. I have been everywhere. I have been this year alone to 15 different countries, and no, not 15 different countries, sorry, 8 different countries, but 15 different trips. And that isn't me telling you to kind of brag or say, oh, look at me, check me out, going around the world. I'm telling you this because this used to be a dream. This used to be like not even a dream. It was like, it wasn't even anything I ever thought was even possible. And I mean, who does 15 trips in a year and gets paid for it? Like, it blows my mind. It really does. And I've seen, and I feel so fortunate that I've seen some of the most beautiful places. I've stayed in some of the most incredible hotels. I work with the most amazing, amazing individuals. And for them to actually trust in me, that's like been phenomenal. So just to rewind, how I've actually been traveling and why I've been traveling to all these different places is because I help entrepreneurs scale themselves and their actual businesses. Some of them are spiritual, some aren't spiritual, but I help them scale their businesses, I help them connect into their guides, and I help them align their energy. Because if you are an entrepreneur, then your business or a high net worth individual, your energy affects how you grow. So your energy and how you show up and how you deliver and how you make decisions and your frequency, especially if you manage quite a lot of people, it all affects the overall picture. It makes a massive difference in your success and how you move forward. And so when I work with these people individually, I take them to places that they've not been before, and their spirit guides choose, and I spend a couple of days with them and we go deep. We go deep into what's holding them back, where their energy needs to realign, where their desires are really ignited now because quite a lot of the time they've achieved most of the things they want in life. So what is next? Where do they go? And this is what we do. We spend, it's such a privilege to be with these people. Like I can't even describe, it's such a privilege. And together we crack the code for them. You know, I speak directly to their spirit guides and I channel specific guidance for them. And sometimes it's activations. So sometimes I physically channel. And if you don't know what channel actually is, it's where you have the spirit guide energy come through you, or you direct the spirit guide that's their personal guide through the person's body, and they target specific areas where you might be storing blocked emotion, or where you might be needing to release, or where you've had maybe something happen to you previously where it's stored and you can't remember, and the frequency is actually holding you back from going to the next level. It's really hard to explain on here without using all my terminology, and I want to keep this very universal so anyone that actually comes in and finds this podcast, they actually understand in simple terms. But essentially, if something you've experienced in life, either in this life, in one of your other lives, leaves a scar anywhere in your body, that is actually stored energy, which essentially could block your growth. And so what we do is your spirit guides know where this is, they know where the block is, and they go in and they basically make it disappear. And so you leave the actual retreat feeling like, in their words, what they actually said, whole again. They've actually had opportunities come through. They've had clarity. They've actually received breakthroughs whilst we've been there, as in we haven't even left the country, haven't even left the retreat, or haven't even left the venue. And already what they've actually decided they're wanting has already taken place and already been sent through. It's like it's gone through their team, or it's come through in a contract, or it's just happened. It's just literally happened. And we haven't even been home before you even leave, before you've even had time to tell anyone what the breakthroughs are. Spirit have worked their magic, and that's how fast it is. So to be in that situation and be in such a close proximity to people, I can't even describe to you what that's like. It's just like, how is that even possible? How do you even advertise it? I have no idea how I do advertise these things, because it is so unique and so bespoke that it's just mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. And so when you come to scale your spiritual business, so say if you're a person now watching this and maybe you do angel healing, or you work with Reiki, or you do psychic readings, maybe you juggle it. Maybe you were like me, you were a PA in the day and a psychic at night, because I've done both. Maybe you're in that juggle phase. I'm telling you this now to open your eyes to anything is possible. Like, you can do anything with your spiritual abilities, things that you possibly couldn't even imagine. And there was nothing in me that started out by thinking, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a high level entrepreneur abroad, and I'm going to deepen into their connection, reveal their true self purpose, their true beliefs, their core. I'm going to replenish and recleanse them, and I'm going to put them back out into the world, this newer version. I'm going to work with them closely afterwards to ensure all these new codes are embodied and they are forever going to grow. Like, there was no part of that plan. Like, how would you even think that up? It just didn't, it doesn't work that way. So I think sometimes in life, when we are looking to bring our gifts to life and looking to change the world, because quite often we have this desire in us when we work with spirit, and when we have these abilities to bring something different to life, and we have this desire to be of service, and it's incredibly frustrating if you're not being of service. Like, I don't think people realize the level of frustration when you are not doing what you're here to do. Like, it's so uncomfortable. It's more uncomfortable than showing up and doing things that you're scared of, like maybe public speaking, like maybe hosting a podcast, like maybe traveling on your own on an aeroplane, or whatever it is that your thing is. There's always something that we're scared of when it comes to growth, or when it comes to scaling, or stepping into our truth. But not being able to achieve or have that feeling of completion that I get when I go on these trips, like, it's truly, that's more terrifying. That's genuinely more terrifying. So my point of telling you is just be open. Be open to, you've got this ability. Stop searching for what you're meant to do with it. Stop searching for, wow, I need to know the next step right now. Because mine actually happened over a 7-year period. That's how long it took me. And I'm going to be honest, I am quite slow when it comes to like picking up the hint or picking up the actual message from spirit. I know some of you are probably like, no, Katie, I bet you're really fast at this. I bet you like get a download through and you just know exactly what to do. And that's not the case. Sometimes I get a download through and I sit with it and go, I don't actually know what they want me to do with this. Or because I'm clairvoyant and I see, I'm very visual, I could see an image in my mind's eye, or I could see an image as I'm meditating of like me somewhere. And I think, is that me? Well, what on earth is that? That doesn't look like me. Or am I supposed to do that? Or, and I have to almost go into my human and not try and micromanage, but I have done that before, but try and like look at it and think, well, where am I actually going with this? What's the bigger picture? Where am I actually focusing here? How do I get to this point? And sometimes that takes time. But the people that don't ever get to their soul purpose, and sadly, there are people out there that aren't in their soul purpose, and they try so hard to seek and understand what their gifts, their abilities are actually meant to do for others. Like, they really seek every single day and they try everything, and they stay in that land of frustration. And you know what? Those people, I see you. Like, I really see you, because I was one of them. And it is the quickest way to sink yourself. So if you're listening to this and you feel frustrated and you have a gift to give to the world and you don't think it's unique enough and you don't think that you're bespoke enough and you don't think you've got whatever it takes to be that person that travels the world and makes a change, makes an impact, and have the confidence to do this, or you feel like an imposter, like you need to listen to this. You need to listen to this and focus on you get to be the change in your life. You get to be the one that actually is allowed to take yourself from frustration to what if, or could this possibly lead to this? That's all I did. All I did was go, I choose to look at this in another way. I choose to see how I could be different. I choose to see how I could stand out more. I choose to see how I can make a bigger impact that maybe other people haven't actually done. I choose to look at ways that it actually suits me and ways that I can grow as an individual as a result of helping these people. Just by saying those things and putting yourself at the forefront, which a lot of you don't do, then oh my gosh, you will be shocked at how much comes through, how much clears, how that frustration then turns into, okay, interesting. And it turns into more of a question. And if you've gone from frustration to question very quickly, it's not going to be that long before you actually start getting your answer through. So, for example, there's quite a few people I help with my program called Scale Spirit Online, which helps spiritual businesses grow. And when they come to me, it's so interesting because a lot of them are juggling the jobs. They're like me, how I used to be, PA in the day, not necessarily PA, but a job in the day, something else at night. And they really can't understand how they can go from that, having that regular income coming in, like that security. And I'm doing speech marks if you're listening on podcasts, with my fingers because no job's secure. But go from that security to having consistent sales, income, people buying their services, and have that confidence to go, you know what, I can actually rely on this. I can actually trust myself. And I get it because if you've worked in a business all the time, you're not the one that has to be the trust. Like your trust is like in the powers that be. It's not your responsibility. It's not on your shoulders. But when you're running your own business, it does all come onto your shoulders. And so that element of it's not really the gift you trust, it's not really your purpose you trust. When we come down to the nitty gritty of it, in Scale Spirit Online, a lot of the time, it's the person doesn't trust themselves to be good enough, to share their gift enough, to be wanted enough, to be in demand enough, to be able to scale enough, to be able to be visually seen enough, to be able to be captured by their audience enough. They don't trust themselves to do it. They don't trust themselves. And I don't think I ever did question trusting myself. I don't think it ever crossed my mind because I was in a different frequency to that. I didn't have a job. They'd stripped my job away from me, my spirit guides. They were like, nope, definitely not doing that, Katie. And I think I've mentioned this to you all before, but every time I tried to do something, I was always stopped. Everything that was not spiritual related, it was to the point of ridiculousness that I was always stopped. Everything was stopped. So I had nothing to lose. And I was in a place where probably quite fortunate because I didn't have anything to lose. So the only thing I could do was trust and surrender, which I had to do. But I felt like I was failing. Even when I was following their guidance, I still felt like I wasn't good enough. I still felt like I couldn't deliver enough. I still felt like my messages were mediocre. I still felt like my gift wasn't really that established. We're talking like 20 years experience by this point. And I was still like, am I good enough? But guess what was different? I still did it anyway. I still showed up. I still did it because I thought, well, why not? All I went from was frustration, self doubt to, but maybe, or what if that looked like this? Or what if I could just receive some sort of guidance just to lead me forward just a couple of steps? Maybe if I just go a little bit further, maybe if I just think about this from a different angle, maybe I'm just open to receiving in another way. Or maybe I could look to do something where I feel really comfortable. What would that look like? And as you can see, all I did was go from frustration to question and to, maybe, maybe. And what is wrong with being in maybe? What is wrong with being in maybe? What is wrong with being in that open energy of, what if it did work? What if I could actually do something here that would be so exciting? And just going back to the trips, like I wanted to, when I was actually sat there and with my guides one day, and they said to me, you want to scale, you want to grow, but how do you want to live your life day to day? And I was like, I want to travel the world. I want to fly first class. I want to see the world. Because there's honestly, there is nothing that enriches your soul more than travel. Like, I know some people disagree with that, but I don't know how, because when you travel, you evolve. Like my confidence has changed. You know, I never used to go anywhere without my husband. I never used to travel without my children. The thought of leaving them at home and me being on a plane, it was like, oh, but what if something happened to me and then they lose their mom and all these things that go around your mind and all these kind of stresses. And then, will I be okay on the plane on my own? I wouldn't have anyone to talk to. And well, I'm not very good at like timekeeping, especially if there's a shopping mall involved. So how am I going to get through duty free and how am I going to make it to the plane on time? Where do I look for the gate? Like all these things. And then if I got there, would I be safe in the hotel room? Can I sleep in a hotel room on my own? And then what if the client doesn't get that full transformation or download that they're expecting? So of course, there was always doubts. There was always. But I've grown so much. Like I sail through airports. I love flying alone. In fact, when we go on our family holidays now, I'm a bit like, oh, they're all really annoying. One needs the toilet, one wants a coffee, one wants to go to duty free. You know what it's like. And then you feel like you're running around the airport trying to accommodate everyone with a 40-minute window. Trying to watch them all go through security is painful. And so all of these things, like taking the family out of it for one side because I love them dearly. But like when you actually go to these places, learning to say please and thank you, learning how people live, learning what their culture is and what their main food is. Like most cities I've learned have got like different frequencies, different energies. And so when I go to these places, I'm not going from a place of is the shopping good or is the history good? I try not to look up the place, which I know sounds really bizarre, like I know that it's personal to the person because their spirit guides choose the destination. So I go with an open energy. So I go with a blank canvas, no preconceived ideas. And I go and I feel, right, okay, what does this feel like? What does the energy of the land feel like? What does the vibration feel like? And that serves me. Like spirit know that serves me because I'm learning as well. I'm feeling the frequency of a new place, a new vibration. I'm feeling what it's like to be in their energy. Because what I've learned with some clients is there's certain destinations that they can go to that help them flourish. So there's certain countries they can go to that actually help them be creative. And there's certain places they can go to that give them energy of growth and expansion. And then there's certain countries where they go to and they actually feel really relaxed and really calm. And so it's really interesting to see those frequencies. And if you're scaling your spiritual business or even looking to actually bring this to life, you can actually think about yourself, like where is it that you can go to help you? And if I rewind, and I'm sorry, I'm covering so much here because it's just flowing through in case you can't tell, but like when I rewind to when I first started the business and I did have that imposter syndrome, like when I was creating content for you all, writing like my Facebook posts, and I used to do a blog back then, which I actually really like that blog. I don't know if it's still published, it must be somewhere. But I did a vlog, like telling my story, telling like how the oddities that had happened to me in life and all these kind of things. And when I used to write my vlog, I used to go to a certain cafe because they had like a view of like a lake and grass. So whenever I used to write, I used to always go to this cafe. I didn't make the association back then, 7 years ago, to I had this realization when I was on one of my client trips, how different places give off different frequencies. Like I'm here recording this with you guys now. I could technically do this from home. Like my producer, bless him, has offered to come to the house and do this. But I'd rather drive, and it's a good hour from my house to get here, an hour to be able to be in the energy of when I'm here with you. I'm not in my house where I'm thinking, oh, is the washing machine done? Or have I got to cook tea later? Like I'm in the energy of I'm on camera. There's no other disturbances. We're doing this. And so it's very much about understanding that if you can't travel right now, and that's not a situation for you to be in, and You're an entrepreneur and you can't just drop off everything and head off to Spain because you need to be creative. You can still look at how you can actually start integrating this energy now around you, thinking about certain coffee shops you can go to be creative, thinking about certain walks that you could go on to get downloads through and get creativity flowing or to clear your mind. There's so many things you can do to be in that frequency. And this is what I feel like you guys try and tell you by making you probably feel like you should put down that pen, you should put down that computer, you should head out for that walk, that nudge you feel to take the day off. It's because they're trying to get something through to you. They're not trying to stop you from being successful. They're not trying to stop your creativity. They're trying to say to you, just for a second, just believe in us, just follow what we say, and something will come through. The clarity will come, the breakthrough will come. It will feel less confusing. So please think about what it is you're really wanting, how you want this to work for you. I know you want to give your gifts, and I know you want to share your work. And I know that there's businesses out there that aren't necessarily spiritual, but give so much back in the world. Like, I work with most of them, so I know that they're there. But you do need to make sure that whatever you're creating and building serves you. Because if it doesn't serve you, you're not in this for the long haul and nobody will benefit. So think about where you grow, think about where you can expand, and think about what you need for you to be able to not override your imposter syndrome, but to ease that frustration. So ease that frustration, ease that imposter syndrome. Like, just think that maybe, just maybe, or what if, or whichever one you resonate with, maybe, what if, or okay? So I really hope that helps you, my darlings. I really felt all that power coming through. I really hope you did too. And if you've been in our world a while, you'll know that we do our feather intention. So I've got my feathers here and I'm going to set the intention today. So I'm placing it in my palm right now if you can't see me. And I'm going to set the intention that you all shift today any frustration. If you found this podcast, you found it for a reason. And you're going to shift the frustration from where you are right now to maybe I could just be the one that does things a little bit different. Maybe there's an easier way for me. Maybe there's something more suitable for me. Just maybe. And spirit guides, forces the highest good in intention of purity and light. Please let people see that maybe inside of them. Give them that download, give them that little nudge, give them that little sign, just so that they can have that moment. That's all we need, just that one moment, and everything will shift. I love you all so much. Here is your feather. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you back for another juicy episode. Love you lots. Oh, before I go, sorry, I just wanted to say, so many of you have been messaging me, asking me where the podcast has been, and I've obviously just explained it. But if you could make sure that you like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, give us a comment as well. But please, if you can, rate us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, wherever you are listening, and just give us a little comment. It takes a couple of minutes and it really helps us reach more and more people with this great message. So if this has helped you, remember everything's an energy exchange. It would be great to hear back from you. I love you all. Thank you.